You use which words? I can't hear. Please, can you just... The keyboard... Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but I can't hear Ms. Mkhabayi because the keyboard's a bit loud. Uses which words, Ms. Mkhabayi?
He used a word that was used by the court. Then when I asked him, but where did you get this word? The court answered and said, it was from my previous utterances in court. If the court can remember that. It is the court.
I can't even know which word you're talking about. But if you make the allegation, tell me what the word is.
Commodified.
Commodified.
Yes.
So, you see.
Welcome back to day 2 of a Judge Erasmus over there in Cape Town, popularly known on the streets as Judge Ndim. And ironically, the Judge Ndim name came about between an exchange between Judge Nathan Erasmus and Miss Mkhabayi of Mkhabayi Associates. That's how it came about, in an exchange that they weren't having an exchange. Actually, Mkhabayi was putting in her submissions, and one of her submissions had to do with a case law, and the judge asked her which judge presided over that case, and unfortunately she didn't know, and the judge told her, well, it was Ndim. So they're back at it again today, continuing from the heated conversations that happened yesterday. Court had to end abruptly, and when I say abruptly, I mean Judge Ndim running out of the courtroom. Let me show you.
So instead of starting at 10, as is customary in Cape Town, we will start at 9. And then we will resume the proceedings. I intend, even if it's late tomorrow, to give the order and judgment on the leave to be, as well as the 2 or 4 session. It's unforeseen, and there's no reason to speculate or anything. We need to be compassionate.
So there it is, the moment where it looked like Judge Ndim was running out of the courtroom, and you have his court registrar, I imagine, following very fast and furious behind him. She returns a few moments later, so possibly she wasn't told what the situation was. Well, it wasn't publicly disclosed to us what was happening, but one of the things the judge said was, we have to be courteous. We have to be courteous. So therefore, it led me to probably think, something happened again with Rens. If you watch the trial, Rens always had a situation when the tough got going. She always had a medical situation, that is. So anyway, that's the update with regards to what happened yesterday. So court started again today, and yes, they continued off literally right where they left off. Back in the heat. It was heated blow by blow between Mkhabayi and Judge Ndim. Now, I'm bringing you this clip because it was quite concerning. Actually, it was quite overwhelming to watch. Advocate Mkhabayi, Miss Mkhabayi of Mkhabayi Associates, standing there and saying that the judge, one of the witnesses used the word commodify, which is a word that the judge uses, so therefore they were colluding. My jaw. You see, commodify, the judge used that word several times throughout the case. At any time. That's how he spoke about JOSHLIN, that they commodified her. In other words, he was saying they turned her into just a human. But the mere implication that the judge is colluding by using the word commodified, I'm just going to go straight up and say it. I was disappointed. I was disappointed in Mkhabayi's weak argument, very weak argument. Someone left a comment yesterday and said, Mkhabayi is busy grasping at straws. Yeah, today she was really, really grasping at straws. She was searching for a needle in a haystack. If that is the best argument she could come up with, how do you even prove that nobody uses this word? Only the judge used this word, and then all of a sudden, one of the witnesses also used the word, so therefore the judge called this person and they have a personal relationship, or the judge was speaking to them in person. The judge says, "What is going on, Mkhabayi?" And then, if you thought that was the worst part of it, when Mkhabayi listed, she continues to list. I'm going to play the clip for you. Watch it till the end because it's just incredible. For me, it screams desperation. And then I ask myself, what? Does she know the cameras are rolling? Why would she embarrass herself in this manner? The next thing she said, I don't even know how to repeat it. I'm going to try my best to say it. She said the judge had an angry face. And the judge said, "Say what now?" And she's like, yeah, the judge had an angry face. So later on in the day, while the state is doing their submissions and arguments, the state says, well, at the beginning of the trial, we were highly opposed to the media being here, but everything happens for a reason. Thank goodness we don't only just have transcripts, we also have video recording. And then Judge Ndim jumps in and says, yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure that if this case goes to appeals court, they can sit and watch the video and search for my angry face. Which was, of course, a jab at, I almost said Shalala. No, Miss Mkhabayi of Mkhabayi Associates. Because she said one of her submissions was the judge had an angry face. I think that is so unfair. So unfair. Because we could also say the same about her. There's a saying, I don't have a better way to say it. So I'm gonna say it the way that it is said on these streets, okay? It's not a direct implication that she has a resting beep face. She has a resting, yeah. If you know the saying, you know. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. So she has a resting face. Yeah, consistently. I would say from day one. Mkhabayi has a resting face. But is that something that we can hold against her? Basically, it just translates to that she's not, in my opinion, she's not approachable just from her face. Like, if she doesn't seem to be an approachable person. But unfortunately, she continued on, in my case, down this slippery path. And I don't know if that's going to help in her case. I really don't. And then they went for a break. When they came back from break, guess who wasn't there? Mkhabayi of Mkhabayi Associates. And the judge is like, well, I don't know why she's not here. Maybe she's still upset. We're just going to have to continue without her. So I'm going to play the clips here and let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What is your prediction? Because the judge is about to rule. Let me upload this video really quickly because the judge is about to rule. We actually get to find out what happens to Rangs today and also what happens to the accused in terms of their application. Not accused because they are convicted. They are no longer accused. They are actually convicted now. But yeah, let me end my commentary here. I'm going to add the clip here. Tell me everything you think about Mkhabayi submissions. Bye!
Remember, the reports were asked after the judgment. That word was in the judgment, where I said the accused person commodified JOSHLIN. So because he used that word in the report as well, I colluded with him. That's what you're saying.
Including the above?
No, including the above.
Yes.
I hear you. Okay, is there anything else why you're saying that
Yes, my
I
lord.
was in this corrupt and collusive relationship with the probation officer?
When I was
Just so
addressing,
that it's on record.
when I was addressing the court, my lord, I mentioned that the court called the probation officer.
I instructed for the probation officer's reports to be compiled. And I've disclosed on record that there was going to be a delay and that I had intervened on that weekend. Didn't speak to them directly. We did it from a higher level to put pressure on the department to compile the reports. And that I disclosed on record.
Even the probation officer's report, to my surprise, when he was compiling his report, our heads of arguments were not inclusive. So his report, also my lord, was one-sided.
So let's just pause there. Let's just put the record straight. Because facts are being distorted here. I'm not interested in myself. All these things that are being said. And I will not take steps for unprofessional behavior. That's up to the bodies to do it. Whether they want to take steps against me, I'm fine. Whether they want to take steps about you, about the allegations you make, that's your business. I will not become a complainer. But at least it's on record. So the true facts are, not the distorted ones, is that the applications were prepared here in Cape Town by the registrar. When I raised it with the parties, I said the forms are already typed. And you were given an opportunity to provide further information. It's on the record. Whatever you want to provide to the probation officers. And I'm aware of when people were brought to the court for consultations, to assist with the consultation, to this building, because I authorized them. So things were happening in the background, also to assist the defense. And when the eventual documents went out from this court, from the registrar's office, now you say, because you didn't do your job, that the probation officer only looked at the state's heads. Everybody had the opportunity to send in their stuff. I said it on record.
With due respect, my lord, heads of arguments were not further information. Heads of arguments were filed in court.
So what's wrong with it? What's wrong with it if you had the heads of argument?
Everything is wrong about it, my lord. The report is one-sided.
But you had the opportunity to cross-examine him, and I had the opportunity to evaluate it. If you say that I erred in evaluating his reports and made certain findings, that's fine. But why do you have to impugn, and it's actually criminal conduct, on everybody else that doesn't agree with you? Without substance. Even now, looking at what you're saying about the, because I've invited you to place on record the allegations against me. I've invited you. I've now invited you to place it on record in relation to the probation officer. And you come short with what you're telling me. Because you had the opportunity to confront him, you did. And I evaluated the evidence. It's not about him. It's about my findings. Attack my findings.
With due respect, my lord. And again, these are
And
not...
of course, Mr. Peterson can do what he wishes with what had happened here today. I can't speak for him. But he has rights too.
I'm not bringing before this court allegations against the court. I'm bringing before this court grounds for leave to appeal.
Ms. Mkhabayi. And I have to be careful because I still have to make a ruling in this case. But I can assure you, whatever allegations you've made, because they were allegations, I will not hold against you or your client. because everybody that has followed this case and that has seen these proceedings, they can judge for themselves. They can judge for themselves, and they can say whatever they want to say about the merit or demerit of whatever happened in this court, because it's a public court. But be careful, please. Mr. Peterson in this case is not a litigant. He's not a party to this case. He was merely a witness that performed professional service, not to impugn any unnecessary and unfounded conduct on his part that will impugn his dignity. He's not here to defend himself. I can speak for myself, and I have no reservations to do that. So just be careful, let us act professionally. Because I think what is happening here is that all sorts of allegations have been thrown around. And when I ask for a factual basis, so that it can be on record, nothing is forthcoming.
My Lord, in my application, I am limited to what happened in court. What I just submitted before this court now is what happened when the probation officer was giving evidence.
Okay. Shall we move on to 48? You say I didn't want to hear anything about Machichi?
Yes,
because
my
I said
Lord.
it wasn't
Yes.
going to help you?
Yes, my Lord. When I was addressing the court
Yes.
in sentence.
On sentence, yes.
Yes. You stopped me.
I stopped
What
you.
my plea is not going to help you.
I stopped
further.
you. Yes.
And with that face, my Lord.
With that face, I stopped you. Because I should have stopped you here already today. But I didn't. Because once a point is made and an authority is known to the court, because Machichi, it's so well known, it's quoted every day in all sorts of courts. I know the case, so there's no reason for me that counsel address me on it. So I make no apologies for stopping. Yeah, 49. Robbie.
Come again, my Lord?
No, you say that I erred in law and in fact by manifesting my hostility, by interrupting and interfering with the defense, I take it that's you, while citing Foot's comments in the case of State versus Ravi.
Yes, my Lord. My Lord, if you can see your face when you were addressing me.
Oh, you want to take my face on the people?
No.
Because, no, I'm dead serious. We're dealing here with a substance.
Yes, my
So
Lord.
don't say, how is the SCA or the appeal court going to see what my facial expression was?
But I've seen your face.
So you raised this because of my facial expression?
Yes, my Lord. Your facial expression, my Lord. Your facial expression.
Thank you, Ms. Mkhabayi. You know, the last 2 days I've been very educational. I've learned such a lot.
From your facial expression, my Lord, I could see that you are angry. People like this.
I don't think you've really seen me angry where I was really angry like this morning.
I don't want to see it because I've seen.
Not in court, when I arrived at the building.
So that face alone, my Lord, will change the environment to be hostile.
I'll remember that.
It has a pain to me.
Yeah. You know, on a lighter note, so that we just break the ice. I was told that as a cross-examiner, I had all sorts of mannerisms. I think the only person that might know is Ishmael over there. And sometimes the magistrates would caution me, or the judges would caution me, the advocate, please, that leg. And I always tried to make fun of it by giving a snide comment as to why my leg was so crooked or something like that.
If, yes,
or
I'm
throwing
sorry
the
to cut you.
spectacles. But now I've learned something else, except for all of those things, I also have a face.
If, my lord, you have seen yourself,
Isn't it-
when you were leaving court on the day of R versus Collins, you took 1 second to leave the court. The way you were so fast.
I wanted to come back. That's why I left fast. Remember, it was late in the afternoon. I think it was after 4. And I wanted to come back into court as soon as possible. Because you were frustrating me. And I wanted us to get done. But then you backed out of the fight. Strangely, it's not raised here as the ground of appeal. Because you dared me on legal authorities. And I took up the challenge. I brought my laptop and my screen. And I said, let's rodeo. But it didn't happen. But that's in the past. It's not a ground of appeal. But I also had an angry face then. If you give me the dates, Ms. Mkhabayi, maybe I can find it on the internet. And I can see what my angry face looked like. Yeah. Let's get back to business. So, okay, so that's the number 49 is to do with my facial expression. Number 50, again, my hostility, interfering, interrupting, and overruling from re-examining your client.
Yes, my lord, yes. When Ms. Swanepoel was cross-examining my client, she put to him long questions. At some stage, I stood up and I objected, pleading with her to make the questions short and simple. I remember one question she put to my...
No, but this has to do with re-examination.
I'm going there. That re-examination resulted from that cross-examination. I remember one question she put to my client. You were comfortable, you put your hands on the edge of the table, you pulled your arms up. I objected. Then the court said, Ms. Mkhabayi, relax. You have time on re-examination. Re-examination comes. I want to clarify this issue for my client. The court said, no, Ms. Mkhabayi has already answered that question. That's the point, that's the ground.
I've got it here.
Still on the cross-examination of Ms. Swanepoel regarding the issue of the rod, the size of the rod where he was hanged. I wanted to clarify that. The court overruled me. No, your client has answered.
But you see, yeah, I'll note it, right? But so what?
I have a right to clarify issues that were not clear on cross-examination.
Right. I've noted that. So that brings us to the end of the grounds. Now the only issue is SCA or full court. And in full court you don't have to give me reasons. If you say it must go to the SCA,
Yes,
you must tell me why. Because that will also tie in with the other compelling reason for granting leave. The two might be tied. Under 17.
Yes, my lord. It is our humble submission that court grant our application for leave for appeal.
To which court?
Full bench, Cape Town.
Okay. So that's fine. Just thank you. Anything else? I'm going to take a short adjournment now. So the only outstanding issue is the authority that you can just
Nature after.
that
Yes,
you
my
give me
lord.
afterwards. I'm going to finish this matter today. Come hell or high water. So if you have the authority, I might take a half an hour break or so before I come back, and I'll give an extempore judgment on this application as well as on the 204 application. but I'm not going to delay it further. So if you have the authority, and just send it to Mr. Brill, or I'm going to take a 15-minute or so break. I'm trying to manage the time. So it's now 20, make it 20 to 12. If I take a half an hour now, till 10 past 12, and then we sit through. Everybody on board? Mr. Mkhabayi? Mr. Sivnarayan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, mother?
Yes.
We're going to make a plan between the two of you. We're going to make a plan on that. Right? So, I'm going to take a longer adjournment now, say half an hour, till 10 past 12. Then we're going to come back. Mr. Sivnarayan will then back. State will back. I take it that won't take us longer than an hour. Then I'll take a short, I'll go back for potential replies. After that, I'll take half an hour or so break and come back and finish up. So go and get your refreshments, and now that those month's refreshments, we might take a comfort break in between, but I also don't want to go into the customary lunch break after court, because it's going to be busy here today. I think it's already busy outside because it's Wednesday, so it's one of our pro bono days. So the pro bono clinic our pro bono desk is running today. So it's quite a lot of movement in this passage, and once you go out the door, and it's lunchtime, security will let you in again. So let's plan it that way. 10 past 12.